I read something one day, and I was in the office, and it say, your lack of preparation does not warrant an emergency on my behalf.
Right.
And that's for real. A lot of times, we as people, I guess, we don't want to take responsibility for our lack of preparation. Because some things can be somewhat foreseen, or see where they're going.
You sure?
To a certain degree.
Okay, so we can't know what's gonna happen next.
No, I can't predict the future.
Okay, I know.
Can't predict the future.
I mean, they say there are those that can.
I can't. I'm not one of them.
I don't know how can they.
I'm not one of them.
Know what isn't. You know what hasn't come yet. You know about it though. You know something. I don't know how that works. Or what never comes really. It's like the next moment, tomorrow never comes. When tomorrow never comes. I mean, what are you preparing for actually?
What is tomorrow?
There is no such thing as tomorrow. There's no actual, the actuality is never tomorrow, it's always now. What's true and what's real is always momentary and always existing new and fresh. Yeah, so planning is just a joke, you know what I mean? And a lot of people spend a lot of time joking like they can prepare, We said, well, one time they got the newspaper in one hand and they got their planning book on another hand. What kind of crap is that? You know what I mean? All right, you trying to figure out what the day's weather gonna be, but then you already got all next week planned out. You know what I mean?
Just don't work like that.
Come on, man.
It just don't work like that.
Either you don't know or you do.
Exactly. And I ain't scared to say, man, a lot of times I just don't know. But being the nerd I am, I know how to find out. So I don't mind researching and looking for what I want to know.
I think a nerd is just a meditator. Because to find out a lot, you got to have a huge capacity to listen and be quiet and receive. You know what I mean? And so nerds are cool. I guess most geniuses are considered nerds.
A lot of them, they call them geeks because they know. See, the difference between a geek and a nerd, a geek know, a nerd know how to find out.
The geek is more on the technical side and the
yeah, he a little more technical. He a little more technical than
the masculine side of the smart world. And the nerd is the listener. He's the one that
quiet, laid back.
And he allows he doesn't listen to the point where if you ask him something and you didn't even know he was that.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I didn't know you was that into it, but he get his from listening and being around that stuff a lot.
The geek, he showing off. The geek, he gonna show off it all the time. The nerd, he kind of like.
Is the geek the guy from the good background? And nerd can be from any background.
Yeah, nerd.
The geeks usually came up when they was around.
Yeah, they were bred to be that way. See, and when I say bred, they were trained to be that way. Whereas in a nerd, it's just what they are. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's no real fun. They have training, and they're always being trained. But a lot of it is self-training and things like that. They get mentors. They're going to find the case law for a class or the study. You know what it's going to be. They'll find all of the cases, all of the little classes, and all that little stuff there. They'll caught the books and don't go get the degree and just have all of the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Does someone with a penchant for study have to fall in one of those categories? Can you just be a bookworm? Can you just be somebody who just
oh, most definitely.
Without going to the extreme, you just a attentive type. You know what I mean? You like to be aware.
Yeah, but I guess that's just my way of identifying with a group of people. But at the end, the identifying with a group of people is create separation. So it's wrong ultimately to call myself a nerd. It just
I wouldn't say wrong. I wouldn't say wrong at all. I mean, I think it's a power that you have to call yourself whatever you like.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm exercising my freedom to do what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm choosing to say nerd. Now, tomorrow, if I say king, it hasn't changed.
No,
nerd and king mean the same thing to me.
Right.
So
right.
It ain't changed.
You are the power. You know what the real power is.
Yeah, it ain't changed.
It ain't in the title.
It's not in the title. It's in the one that possesses the title. The one that chooses to use the title. You know.
Yeah, I think that's what is at the end of the day. That's what the movement all about. You know, letting everybody know the power is with them.
Yeah, most definitely.
Taking the mystique out of holiness. You know, bringing it back to the common man and taking all that hype about holiness away from it, where it seems so far out of reach. You know what I mean? It's an attractive saying.
God resides in the temple. Your thing is to find out where the temple is. If you listen, and you've been taught, and you've heard it, all as a child, and they get hinted around and let you know, you're the temple. So if God resides in the temple, and you're the temple, where does God reside? It ain't out of space somewhere. He right here at all times. He ain't nowhere gone, nowhere far off, and all that there. Nah, man.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it with all my heart.
So
I believe in Him. Everything is about God.
what other reason would you need to learn and know yourself if you wasn't getting to know God?
Those are great questions. You know, at times. At times,
You came on the real. In the journey of trying to find myself, I'm looking for God.
Even without all of that stuff, you know, something will rise up in people that, you know, make them look towards the light within themselves for answers.
What's going on?
Yeah, it may not come in the form of God or you know, some because God can be a controversial figure sometimes, and this is more than what controversy can bring about or can come to a conclusion about. You know what I mean? See, this past conversation.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And see, God can be very conversational. You know what I'm saying? So we got to look at God and His active aspect. What is God and really live God. You know what I mean? And sometimes don't be so wordish about Him and let other people come to know God just through our presence. You know? I think that's the better way. You know, then if the words come down to words, you know what those words mean. And some persons, you know, use God for the point, or maybe put things in a certain context. And it's good because, I mean, God is the ultimate illustrator who deserves the ultimate illustration.